You've used words like invest in business. You're unemployed living off your girlfriend.
Now, I use stock options, but I made good money off stock options, but at the same time, I lost a lot of money because I get a little greedy from here and there. But it kind of helped out too. So it's kind of been like from stock options from that and some money too.
How much are you earning a month?
Ooh, shit. About under 1,000, depending on how the
Then
stock
don't tell
options
me a
go.
damn thing about stock options.
Yes,
Negro,
sir.
you need a job.
Yes, sir.
Get off YouTube, get off Instagram, get off TikTok, get up your ass and go to fuck to work.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. Well, I am your humble host for the evening, as always, Stefano. And I want to thank everybody who's able to join me tonight watching this live stream. Tonight, we got a good one. We're going to be reviewing one of the greats, the late Kevin Samuels. So please make sure you pay attention because this one is very important. All right. Because as we're talking about in this series that I'm about to create, we're talking about the phases that are most important in the lives of men. And in this video, we're going to start off with young men, ages 18 to 29. And I'm not going to talk too much through this. I'm going to let Kevin do the majority of the talking. But before we get started, as always, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you leave a comment. Make sure you hit that like button. I want to know what you think about all the content that I'm dropping. It helps me develop better content, and I would appreciate it if you at least hit the like. It puts us in front of more people. That way we can generate more response, and that way we can push this message out to draw in more nomadic people living this nomadic lifestyle just like you. So thank you. Right now we're up to 92 subscribers. We're trying to hit that 100. So please make sure that you're subscribed. Also make sure that you hit that notification bell. I love this video. I was a Kevin Samuels follower myself, and he dropped a lot of gems, especially in this video. So I'm gonna cover a lot of these in this series. It's gonna be a 3-part series of this. So yeah, like I said, I hope everybody's paying attention and taking notes because it's very important, especially if you got a son. Some like I do. I got a son, and I try to teach him core principles, if that makes sense. Also beneficial to those of you that had daughters. If some of you caught Dre's live cast earlier this morning, shout out to Andre. Make sure y'all subscribe to Love Crossing Borders. He had an interview with Anton Daniels on there. And during the interview, Anton talked about his daughter going to college. What's up? Thank y'all for joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button. He talked about his daughter going to college, and a lot of people felt like he was trying to control it. And if you don't got kids, then you don't understand. All right, it's hard for someone without children to understand that it is your job as a parent to mold and point your kids in the right direction. And especially if you live in the United States. If you live in the United States, the way that Social media is portraying the lives of young women in the direction that they try to point them to be sexually liberated and to do all these things. When you listen to what Kevin says about going to college, right, and how young men should be focused on themselves during a certain age period, you'll understand why people like me and Anton agree with the principle of, hey, my daughter is not going to be out here on someone's campus getting ran through. Okay. My daughter isn't even going to go to college. So that's one thing I don't even have to worry about. And I totally understood what Anton was coming from. But make sure y'all go check out Dre's video. It was a great interview, about an hour long. Great collab. This is the type of things we need to keep doing, keep working together, keep supporting each other. So make sure you go subscribe to Look Crossing Borders and check out their video. It was this morning. I think at 10:35 Central Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. It's one or the other. I can't remember. But it was this morning around 9 or 10 o'clock. So it's fresh. So go check it out. Now, before we start reviewing this business in this video, I got another order of business to do because last week I overlooked something. So I want to give my guy a shout out and give him his credit for being the first donor to my channel. Okay. The very first donor to my channel. All right. So I'm automatically going to make him the stream sponsor because the International Quiet Storm sent me a cash app last week, right before the stream ended, and I did not see it. He was officially the first person to donate to my stream. And because I'm a man who believes in respect, I'm going to show respect and I'm going to give respect because respect ain't given, it's earned. So I'm going to earn all the ones that I get. So shout out to the Quiet Storm. Thank you for the donation, brother. You're the first person to donate to the channel. Really appreciate it. Everybody make sure they go watch Machismo TV. Go subscribe. Go check them brothers out. Go check out Salty Balls. They're awesome. Make sure you go over there and pay attention to what they got going on. All right. Like I said, I appreciate that Quiet Storm. All right. So let's see who we got in the building. Hola, la quequina. Gracias para tu mensaje. Good evening to you too. Black Empowerment, salute family. Thank you for joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. All right. Salute, Coach Lamont. Thank you for joining, brother. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. All right. Now, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get to this video. And we're gonna listen to what Kevin says. And I put the link, I pinned the link to the chat. So you can go ahead and watch this video later if you want. It's part of the series. The man had a lot of gems, a lot of videos like this. If you just paid attention, listen to the message, you could get over the harshness that you feel like he was so harsh, and you could just decipher what he's saying. It makes a lot of sense. But here we go.
All right, here's what we're going to get into. First of all, my young Thundercats. Today, we're going to break it down between the ages of 18 and the age of 29. The age of 18, the age of 29, that is what I consider to be the Esquire phase of life. Okay? The Esquire phase of life.
Considered to be the
That's
Esquire.
Think about it as, the young man getting out into the world. I want you guys to go check out a video I did where I said what I would do differently if I was your age. If I was between age 18 and 35, what I would do. But what I'm going to be focusing on this week is 18 to 29 and 30 to 35. I'm going to put probably 70% of the content is going to be targeted there. And the rest of the content will be targeted 20 to 30%, 35 plus. Because realistically, man, YouTube skews younger, and that's where guys really need much more of an impact. And you really can't afford to book sessions. I mean, we appreciate you guys' support and all that stuff, but I'm not crazy. I know a lot of you guys can't afford to book a one-on-one with me. I certainly couldn't have booked the one-on-one with me back in those days. So I'm going to try to do my best to impart as much knowledge as I can.
So let me stop it right there real quick. Now, as he said, and he did a lot of things he did not have to do. He didn't have to put the entire race on his back. But the GOAT. Yes, he was. He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT. I can't even take that from him. I learned a whole lot from that guy. I learned a whole lot from him. The ages of 18 to 29, those are very important years. Why? Because, for one, those are the years that can either make or break a young man. Why? Because those are the years from when you first really gain some sense of freedom. From the age of 18 on until you're almost 30, those are the ages that you finally can say, I'm grown, or you can think that you're grown because you have legal age to do a lot of things, right? And as I was saying, Kevin did a lot of this, and he didn't have to drop all these gems and put everybody on his back like this. But for some of us older guys, you know how it is when you talk to the younger people, they don't want to hear it. They have to experience and learn the hard way. But that's why we do videos like these, videos like his. So one day they can come and find these videos and they can watch them and they can learn. And if they did it the hard way, like I did, they can try to teach their kids something like this. You know, when you're young, like I try to teach my son, it's about building credit. Get your credit together, right? Don't stay focused on young girls. I mean, I never told them to be a virgin, right? But I also told them don't be having no babies either. It's very important that you don't do that. I think, what's the ticket nowadays for a kid? When I was young, it was 20,000. Now it's around 300,000. That's a big difference. Big difference. So with that being said, how far do you think you can get as a young man having to pay 18 years of child support? If you look at it, if you have a baby at the age of 18, not 13, 18, right? If you have a child at the age of 18, by the time you hit 36, you'd be just now finishing paying out child support if that child decides not to go to college. Let me repeat that. If that child decides not to go to college. If they decide to go to college, then you're going to be paying child support until they finish school. So the best advice I could give my son once he got grown was do not have no baby. Strap it up. Build your credit, right? And make sure you're hanging around the right people. You can always call and ask me any question you want to. I know you think you're grown, but I'm not the type of father that tries to make you do anything you don't want to do. But you're going to have to ask. I can give you all the gems you want. You ain't going to want to hear it because it comes from me. I already know. I can't think of one person that actually wanted to hear something that came from their parents. Not one person. Everything, man, oh man, okay. But you listen to everybody else out here in the streets. That's how it is. The streets raised me, so I know. And if you're a female and you got a son, this is the time where you take it and you sit him in front of this video right here. And you listen to what Kevin Samuels is saying to him, to young men, and you let him watch and you make him listen. This is something you force him to watch because it's not a long video. There's certain key parts, even the parts where when I started off the live stream, when he was talking to the young man, telling him you need to get up and get a job. instead of living off his girlfriend, because that ain't what men do. That ain't what we do. Not at all. All right. So 18 to 29 is very important years because those are the years that a young man can take and mold himself and push himself in the right direction that he can go in for the rest of his life. Now, the second video in this series is going to focus on older gentlemen, older men. And we're going to have that coming soon. But for now, we're talking about the young Thundercats, the young guys, right? We're talking about them people. And we want to make sure that, because if you're like me and you really didn't grow up the right way, you could have, but you chose the hard way, right? That we pass this knowledge down to these kids and these younger generations of men the best way we can. We need to be role models, especially to people of color, the best way we can. So let's get back to the video.
At this level. So, what is an esquire? An esquire used to be kind of like a. Let me read you. Where is it? All right. Esquire. When a computer dies on you, man, that sucks.
No,
When a computer dies on you, it changes your world. I ain't gonna even much lie. Everything is switched up over here. An esquire, a youth who is in training in his manhood training. Now, don't get offended when I say you're in training, you're in process, you're evolving, you're developing. Okay? This is the hit squad. The Henrys are high earners, not rich yet. This is the Henrys, the hit squad. Henrys in training. Esquires, you have now been knighted hit squad. Why is this so important? Why is this phase of life so important? This phase of life is so important because if you start strong and don't let up, you will have you put yourself in a position to have exponential results in the remainder of life if you start strong. And and that means the years of 18 to your college years. Starting strong in your college years will put you in a position to have outpacing your competition. Why? Because most across history, you can look at men of wealth, means, power, and universally, these men can conquer the world, conquer civilizations from Alexander the Great on through Shaka Zulu. It doesn't matter. But the downfall usually has something to do with his handling of a woman. Not the woman per se, his handling of a woman. Okay? So, in the Esquire phase, 18 to 29, and then there's the next phase, 30 plus. At 30 plus, you graduate from like junior high to high school. This is when you decide your path. You're either going to go down what I call the GQ path, or you're going to go down what I consider the bachelor path, Playboy bachelor. But both of these men are going to, in what I'm thinking about, are going to be kind of an elite level men, the top 20% of men. That's who I cater my content to, guys who want to be in the top 20%. So in the Esquire phase.
Stop it right there. Now, as he was saying, right, what drags down most men over time, right? How they handle women. This is why being a young man with the correct parenting with the correct people in your life, the correct knowledge bestowed upon you, right? With the correct people telling you the right things and you're learning from them, one of the first things they're going to tell you is don't be out here chasing these gals, bro. Don't do it. Usually, that's going to be the downfall of most men, a woman. It's happening right now to this day. Brothers all over the world. We read about it on channels like DC Rod, Razor Rays. What's the main thing that's happening to the majority of these men? And what's the cause of it? A woman chasing women. All over the world. I mean, not just in the United States, Estados Unidos. I was about to say Estados Unidos. Not just in the United States, but they're going there with Sasua, Republica Dominicana, Colombia, Thailand, the Philippines. We're hearing about it all over the world right now. And it's not just a particular race of men. It's all races of men. Most men's downfall are women. We can be good in every other area, but that one. I mean, I can't sit here and make it seem like it ain't never happened to me. Yeah, it didn't happen to me too. But what's important is learning. You learn from your mistake and you keep getting up from it. Don't keep making the same habitual mistake over and over again. All right. Let's get back to the video.
You need to know what's coming next. And what's coming next is 30 plus. And when you go GQ or when you go bachelor, those are two different things. But I'll give you a quick preview. GQ, I kind of fit into that category. It's described as a guy who dresses nicely, tends to be very well liked, and has a broad social network. These guys, a large percentage of these men work in corporate America. They are not entrepreneurs. Okay? These are the guys who are climbing corporate ladders. They may choose to become entrepreneurs later on, but at 30, they are not. Okay? And it's to that regard, this is the group of men that, of all the men, this is the group of men who are more likely going to choose marriage. Okay? And then what after that? We have the bachelor phase. Think of Leonardo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx, somebody like that. Okay? Guys who are much more rugged individualists. They focus on being financially fit. They focus on being financially fit, being physically fit, and having fun with the ladies. But they are men on their own. These tend to be much more of the entrepreneurs, the investors. These are the guys who don't even know if they want children. They are building a life, or they're not big, they're not family men. How about
that? So what's important that he just said right there? Well, let me tell you. 3 things you should have caught from that. Being financially fit, physically fit, right? And not serious with anyone too much. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please make sure you go hit like. Please make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let you know when we go live. All right. Please make sure that you hit the like, because like I said at the beginning of the video, it puts us in front of more people. And that way we can push this message out to more nomads like you. We're going to eventually grow bigger. We're going to get a bigger audience. So we're going to have more people in here, but it's all good. Also, not being, let's start with the latter part of it, right? Not too serious. Okay. So for those of you that have young daughters, this is where it comes in, and we talk about what Anton was talking about on the video earlier, right? So you would wonder, is some young man going to break my daughter's heart? Yeah, he is. Especially through the gap from 18 to 29. Why? Because through that age gap, men don't know what they want. Men don't try to settle down and be serious till later on in life. But from 18 to 29, they're still figuring things out. And if you have a daughter, you can talk to your daughter and you can tell her, hey, you should try to focus and find a man that knows what he wants. It's important. Instead of running behind these unsure guys, because the majority of men that know what they want are older. And I'm not telling you to say to your daughter, you need to find an older man, but I'm saying basically this young age demographic of men don't know what they want. All they know is they want to have fun. And I wouldn't want my daughter to be part of that fun. Now there are women that go through it, but I wouldn't want mine to be part of that. And as a father, it's your job to sit down, like I sat down with my daughter and I talked to my daughter and I broke it down to her and I explained to her how guys work, the mindset of how guys are. And this is what goes on. This is what you need to be on the lookout for. This is how you know if he's serious. This is how you know if he ain't serious. On the other hand, they got to fall and bump their heads too. But in the back of their minds, they're going to always remember, if you do it right and you say it right, they're going to always remember what you told them. Always. Always going to remember this. Always. Mama's maybe, daddy's baby. Remember that. If you ain't got kids, you're going to hear that a lot, especially if you got daughters. That's the saying. Mama's maybe, daddy's baby, or something like that. Been a while since I've heard it. My kids are grown now. But yeah, you sit down, and I'm not saying to tell your daughter to think like a man, because I ain't with that Steve Harvey shit. Your daughter needs to be a woman. She needs to be a female, a feminine female. So you can still give her knowledge and still make her understand it is still beneficial for her to be a woman. She don't have to act and think like no man. She can act and think like a woman. But she just has to know that in life, things are going to happen. And if you educate her right and you give her the right knowledge, she won't bump her head so many times, because she always got the little game that you put in her head as a young girl on how to do certain things. And most importantly, you teach her how to respect herself. Because a lot of women lack self-esteem. They look at Instagram all day long. They look at Facebook all day long. They say, I want to do what Cardi's doing, knowing damn well Cardi's married. She ain't doing half the stuff she's saying she's doing. She might have used to, but she ain't doing it no more. So you got to understand how the game is played for these children and how you could sit there and talk to them and think and help them out. Now, if you got a son, if you have a son, you can teach your son the same principles, the same key principles. Therefore, he don't generate bad karma, because no one wants to have their windows bust out, because that's what happens when you become a ladies' man, especially at a young age, because some of these young boys out here, they just dogs. And you don't want to see what happens when a woman gets pissed off after you dog her. So you have to guide him in the right direction too. You had to tell him, look, don't waste no girl time. If you don't really want to be with her, be upfront with her. Be for real with her. Tell her the truth. Running game is for suckers. Real is it's easier to tell, it's harder to tell the truth than it is to tell a lie. It's real easy to sit there and run game. But if you want your son to grow up the right way and become something in life, then you sit him down and you have that talk with him too, as soon as he's of age. I mean, you work on him over the years. If you don't got kids, then you have to understand it takes 5 years to unlearn something. Google it, you'll see. It takes 5 years to unlearn something. All right. So when the baby's first born, the 5 years, that's when they're learning everything that goes around with them. That's why when they start kindergarten, how old are they? 5. So in a 5-year time frame, that's how long it takes to unlearn and relearn new things. So you start working on your kids when they're young. You start teaching them things and installing things in them while they're young, especially your sons and your daughters. They're important too, but you got to make sure that your son doesn't go around, because in this country, the United States, it is hard on little boys and men of color. So they have to know how to act, how to move, the same way that I had to learn the hard way how to act and how to move. I can go ahead and just pass that knowledge on down. Now, even though they're probably going to do some crazy, wild things themselves, right? You can still try to ease the landing for them by saying, hey, this and that. Don't do this and that. Watch for this and that. I know you're going to do this and do that, but make sure if you do this, this is going to come along with it. So be prepared with it. This is how you navigate that. For example, my son talked to me about my 2 degrees on the wall. I told him how I finessed becoming a double major, and he was amazed, because I'm not an angel, but the school allowed it. It was a loophole. What you want me to do? Double majored it. Yeah. So in life, you have to have leverage. And that's another one of the main things that he's going to talk about, because as a young man in this economy and in this country, if you're going to be out here trying to have a family and women, then you're going to have the leverage and the means to support that. The leverage to get it and the means to support it. In these small years, these first couple years of adulthood for you are very important for you to build that foundation. As the title of the video is called, this is important for you to start strong. You have to start strong. It's very important to do that, right? You talk to them about having a good job, making money, doing things like that, saving money, not blowing it, staying away from drugs, things like that, not spending his money on girls, things like that. That way you can focus on your future, because a lot of the times, a lot of little boys, only thing they're thinking about is just smashing. Let's just be honest. We're all grown here. We done been there, you know? So if we just keep it real with them, stop trying to treat them like babies. They're not babies when they hit 18. They know. By the time they hit 15, 16, they know. Let's just be real. They know. So you got to act like they know. Yeah, they're not going to want you to know they know, but you just tell them, look, I know you know. we're not even gonna play those games. I used to do my son like it all the time. He can't live with me for a year, and I just boom, bust all up in his shit. Look, I know you know about this, and this. We ain't gonna play those games. This is what you need to do. Let's get back to the video.
About that. But they're not hermits either. These men work hard, play hard, and they enjoy themselves. So, as a young esquire, knowing what's coming up, are you going to go down the family? Are you going to go down the family and legacy path, or are you going to go down the path of a well-lived individual life? Either way, your choice. Okay. Okay. Either way, your choice. But why is it so important that you start strong? Starting strong means a few things. One, understanding that in the esquire phase of life, you're at your lowest. Your competency level is low, your money's low. But what you have is an outsized opportunity to socialize. College provides, my esquire guys, college, universities, and clubs provide you guys a large opportunity to sharpen your social skills. And it's your social skills that are going to help you build what's necessary, your network. You can build a network. As a young esquire, you're focusing on building your network. Now, I've talked about the phases in life: esquire to GQ to bachelor. There are also three basic masculine archetypes. Let me kind of go over those. There's the refined archetype, me, kind of like that. There's the rogue. Think of like Han Solo kind of character. Johnny Depp when he plays Captain Jack, the pirate. You know, these guys march to the beat of their own beat. And then there's the rake. The rake is much more the ladies' man. It kind of blends both of them. Okay. I'm not going to get necessarily into the masculine archetypes today as much as I'm going to get into the phases. And when you're starting out, 18 to 23, this is where I'm assuming you're going to have your work, you're getting your schoolwork done. But you don't need to be sitting in your dorm room playing video games. You need to become involved on campus. This is where you joining the groups. See, and here's the problem, especially a lot of young men have. A lot of guys have fallen into this lone gunslinger. I don't want to join a group. I want to be a man on my own. I don't want to be a follower. I want to be an alpha male lone lion. That's bullshit. Lion or tiger? Go back to the next phase of life. Esquires, okay? You're either going to become a lion or a tiger. A tiger is a solitary animal. Apex predator, solitary. They don't have a pack or a pride. Okay? Lions are social cats. GQ, lion. Bachelor, tiger. Okay? Think about those two things. But then as you're developing, you have to figure out what works for you. And the most important thing is you want to get your competency together, what you want to do for a lifetime, your profession, your skill set. And then when you get out here after college, after trade school or whatever, and you're putting in your 60 hours a week, you're working your full-time job and your part-time job, this is where you focus on your physical fitness, your financial fitness, and the fitness of your social network, not women.
Let me stop it right there. That way we can go back and talk about the three types of men. Now, the refined. Everybody doesn't start off wanting to be a refined man. I know this firsthand. I used to not like that. All right. The rogue, the Han Solo type. and the rake. The majority of men wish they were rakes. Everybody doesn't want to be a scholar. And that's okay. That's really okay. But in my advice, it's good to be refined, to look refined, if that makes sense, because presentation matters. People judge you based off how you look. So if you go into places looking good, go into places smelling good, and you're a young man, they say, well, look at the young man. I see you. The Han Solo type, the rogue, they don't know how to take you. So people are very judgmental of you. And growing up being a ladies' man, it really leads you down the wrong path. You end up somewhere with a lot of baby mamas, a lot of drama. It's just not worth it. So what I suggest to my son is to always be presentable. Always stay presentable. Keep your hair cut, keep your face clean. Always wear nice clothes, tuck your shirt in, things like that. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of women dress their kids, especially their son, they dress their sons like their ex-boyfriend or the man they want to be with. They ruin him before he gets the chance to develop his own sense of self-being. Now, everyone's going to want to grow up and dress like their friends. They're going to want the LeBrons, the Jordans, things like that. But you have to teach your sons, once you get a certain age, all that goes out the window. You got to put the Jordans aside for a pair of Johnson and Murphys. You got to put the Jordans and LeBrons away for a pair of Kenneth Cole slippers, loafers. Something to look presentable. Especially when you're going on these job interviews. You can't walk in there with a pair of LeBrons on. That's not going to work. Learn to put on a suit, button up in a tie, button up in a blazer. Look presentable at all times. Even if you're not that type of guy, you want to project the image because everyone judges you based off image and you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Does that make sense though? Yes, sir. Facts. Facts it is. Please make sure you subscribe to my Instagram page. Do the same thing. Please go over there and like everything. Go over there and hit like and follow because I post stuff over there. A lot of content over there already, and it's going to be more coming. Please make sure you are subscribed to that page on Instagram. Make sure you follow me over there. Gracias. Once again, thank you to the International Choir Storm. If you see this on the replay, I really appreciate you being the first stream donator. Means a lot. Now, why is this important? It's important because we need our kids to start doing better because the kids are the future. If we messed up, then we sure don't want our kids to be messed up. I don't want my son following in the footpath like I did. I don't want him going down the same roads that I did, having to learn the same hard lessons I did, spending nights in jail on a cold, hard concrete slab, eating carrots and peanut butter. I don't want him to go through that. That's not okay. That's not what I want for mine. I don't want him spending years in the prison. I don't want him doing that. So I'm going to give him every piece of game I can give him to keep him safe and out of these streets. Even though the majority of young boys going to run the streets in some way, form, or fashion anyway, you can't prevent that, but you can tell them what happens in this scenario. Present them with scenarios and tell them, look, this is what happens when you do this. Every action has an equal reaction. There's good karma and there's bad karma. And the thing that we're trying to do is generate good karma. Because karma is a bitch and it will come back around and bite you in the ass. I've had my fair share, so I know. It's important that we teach them the right way. So we want to teach them the right way. Everybody wants to jump off the porch and be their own person. And we all do this when we're young. We all want to feel like I'm grown. I know what I'm doing. You know, you just think you know everything. And we tend not to listen or think about what people are saying until we're in trouble. Then we go heed advice from people. The older people, the OGs, the people that's been through it. What do I do? What do I do? And then you tend to go get information from too many people and it still confuses you. So you need to have a network, a solid network. Someone who's older, they need to be in your network because you can go to them and ask them for advice because they've been through it and they're solid and you know they're solid and you know they're going to give you advice. Not some dude standing on the corner all day long with a brown paper bag with some beer. You can look at them and tell that's not the person you want to get advice from. Even though they might could tell you a couple things, you might not want that. A lot of them probably just trying to get over anyway. But a network, it's important for you to build a network. Your network is your net worth. If you ain't never heard it before, there you go. And you need a solid network and always need someone with some experience in the network. And that person with experience, more than likely, is going to be someone older. Now, you can be running with your dogs, you can be running with your friends, but you got to have that one person, that one partner, that one person that understands what to do in all situations. That can come to you and say, hey, yo, chill, breathe. This is what you do. That's all you need. Someone that you listen and respect. They can calm you down and they can talk to you in a way that you understand. And they can get that message across to you to where you will listen to it. Again, that's why we do videos like this, because there are people that are going to be searching for this knowledge. And online is a thing. It's a real thing. All right. Oh, my God. My God. Salty Balls is in the building. Hey, man, tell Quiet Storm, man, I really appreciate it, man. Tell him that he is my stream sponsor. He donated the first money to my channel, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, guys, make sure you go over there and you check out Machismo TV. I need to get with you, Salty. I need to get a drop. I want a drop. I'm gonna send you an email. We're gonna wrap. I need to holler at you. And I really appreciate you coming through, bro. I really, really appreciate it. Salty Balls is in the building. We gotta be doing something right. Got to be doing something right. Okay. Yeah, I need to get with you because I wanna put something together for my channel. I'm gonna start putting some little inserts in here, and I'm gonna start trying to try something new. Well, I'm gonna try to have like a little Spanish lesson too in there. So because I know a lot of brothers that like to travel overseas to these countries, and they're not trying to learn the language. It is hard for them to learn the language. I'm not fluent in Spanish myself, but I've been studying Spanish for 15, 16, 17 years. So I got a little bit under my belt. You know what I mean? But I'm going to try to incorporate it into my streams. Therefore, once my audience get bigger, I can have people just tune in. And when they tune in, I know a guy, and he's just going to have like a quick little 40-second slot, teach you some Spanish phrases for the day, and boom, he's out. But we need that We need that good speech from Salty Balls in here. You know what I'm saying? Something to get us going. All right. Appreciate you, bro. I really appreciate you coming through. Hey, I checked out your video too the other day. That was a good video. I like that. I left a comment on it. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but great video, bro. Keep it up. Teach these kids though, like I'm saying. Let's get back to the video.
Not women. And how is this going to happen? This doesn't mean you walk around life like a virgin. Oh, no. Absolutely not. But you just stop trying to manage or handle women at this level, because I'm about to give you guys a gift. One of the biggest problems that the Esquire phase of life is you got to stop being angry at the disadvantages in the sexual marketplace. Between the age of 18 and 25, you are at the worst phase of sexual marketplace dynamics. And you got to stop being upset with it. You got to stop being preoccupied with it. You got to stop worrying about it.
Word.
Because unless you hit the genetic lottery, or unless you came from a group of men who taught you game, you are likely going to be in the 80% of guys who get laid as they can. Me, I'm going to tell you, for me, I was more fortunate than a lot of guys because I was good. I talked to ladies. I was good. I had a lot of women around all the time. And to deal with that shortcoming, because I wasn't raised the way I'm talking about, I joined a fraternity to help build my social network. I used everything to my advantage. And this is why I tell you guys, you got to group up. You have to have your wolf pack. You need to run with your boys. I want you guys to look at the movie A Beautiful Mind, and look at when Russell Crowe played John Nash and they were at the bar, and they all went to the bar and they focused on all trying to get laid, and they didn't try to go for the hot chick. Far too many of you guys end up getting one-itis. You end up finding one woman or something, you preoccupy, fixate, stop worrying about it. You're not going to really win like you want to win because you don't have enough leverage. And if you can just understand this most point, stop being upset or angry with the inequity or disadvantage you have in the sexual marketplace, and start enjoying life, because women don't like, whether you like them or not, they don't like being around guys who are upset and tense all the time. Better to be a guy who's out here having fun with the guys, living your life and doing your thing. Women are drawn to good times, fun. They're not drawn to debates and argument and that kind of stuff. Okay. So 18 to 23, college campus. Hey man, scarce times. But after you graduate, this is why I told you, moving into a happening city, getting a couple of roommates, and focusing on making your place a cool place to bring women to when you choose to deal with them. But you're not focusing a lot on really trying to date because you're not in a position to effectively manage a woman anyway. Modern women are a thing, and it's a problem in the West, okay? And that's Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, and other. They're modern women across the board. This is not just unique to the Black community. So we knock that shit off. So, and to become an elite level man, a modern man, an avant-garde man, a contemporary man, a man who's in this modern time, we're not going to go back to traditional roles, Ozzie and Harriet, father knows best. You're going to have to end up becoming an apex predator and learn what you want. But between the ages of 18 and 29, the world will try to tell you what works for you, what's best. You can't know that without trying a lot of things.
Stop it right there. The United States is not going back to to traditional values, traditional roles, it is not going to happen. Just ain't going to happen. You want that, you got to leave the country. Sorry. You got to become a predator. Catch what you kill. Like my mama and them used to do in the country. You hungry? Go out there and get it. Bring it back in here so we can skin it. The thing is, a lot of men want those traditional roles and traditional relationships, right? Which is why you see a lot of men leaving the country and search for that, because a lot of men pride themselves on legacy. And the way that the government is pointing us now, especially people of color, they're pointing us in the opposite direction. They're pointing us, instead of us developing families, they're pointing us in the direction of individualism. You know, I can't say what city you guys live in. I don't know where you live in, but I stay in Cashville, stay in Nashville. And this shows a lot of apartments going up. You can't put no family in no apartment. Downtown, the apartments cost $2,500 to $4,000 a month for a 2-bedroom. What family's living in that? They gentrifying the hoods around here. You hear me? I'm gonna say it like that. You know I'm from the hood. You hear me? They gentrifying. They're getting you on up out of there. I got a little piece of property I own, I inherited. Right? They're trying to buy it. The people coming down here from California, all from the West Coast, to buy this property because it's cheap. Right? So you got to start thinking, and we have to start making sure that the younger generation understand these things, because the way that my people were brought up, those days are gone, and they're trying to erase it from the history books. Remember that. So this is something that's on you to pass this knowledge down. I just did a video on this. Go back and look at my video talking about the Grill Awards, when Barry Allen was talking about how they're trying to eliminate it from schools. And they already done it in some states. You can't even teach Black history. It's only one Black history. One Black history. They're trying to erase the parts where they did what they did to us. And they don't want people to know it. They're trying to whitewash it the same way they whitewashed Egypt. It's happening in real time right now. And we don't see it because we're too busy scrolling on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But go pay attention, go look, and you'll see. Teach your sons not to be out here chasing women. Teach them to be responsible. Teach them to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is educating themselves, staying on top of their work if they're in school, if they're in college, right? Apply for some scholarships. Don't get in debt. It's ways to pay for school that people don't really even know about, other than what the government will give you. You got grants, Pell Grants, things like that. Got all kinds of scholarships, awards. I won awards I never even knew existed when I started going to school for my bachelor degree. I'm still in school for my bachelor degree right now. Won an award simply for signing up to take the classes. Got an award. Wow. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. Follow the page. Follow the podcast on Facebook. Go over there. We're over there. Right now, we're on Twitter too. We're live on Twitch, live on Twitter, and we're live on YouTube. But we're on Rumble, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. Please make sure you tune in, and please make sure you go over there and you check out the content over there. It's the same content, all my live videos. Plus, I'm going to be uploading a lot of more shorts and a lot of more reels and things like this, because I'm just trying to generate enough noise to bring all kind of nomads to this channel, because everyone lives that nomadic lifestyle nowadays, and we all need to get together and pass this knowledge down to each other. so we can teach our people what's going on. We need to have a safe place, a sane place for us, right? Let's get back to the video.
This is the sampling phase of life. Like I said, I would live like in Atlanta, live as close to Buckhead as possible. In LA, I live as close to Beverly Hills as possible. In New York City, I live as close. I live in Manhattan. In Miami, I live in Brickell. You need to be where the action is. And you need to move. You need to also travel. Leave this country. Not to Mexico, not to Jamaica. Do those, but get out of this country and try lots of things. If I were your age, passport, you're going to see traveling this year. Pick up another language.
Passport bros, stand up. One time for the passport bros. One time for the passport bros. For those that like to pick up their passport, hit other destinations and travel and represent us on a much bigger, grander scale. For those of us that are expats that are living in other countries right now, shout out to you guys, right? Shout out to those that are laying the foundation for other people to do the same thing, that are showing them the ways that they can do it. Overseas, setting positive examples of what they think we are doing, but truly showing them what we are not doing. And that is being negative, being, I don't want to say the word on YouTube because I do want this video to be monetized one day. Just being the prime example of what we're supposed to be overseas, donating to the cancer foundations, feeding the homeless, feeding the poor, the unprivileged, right? Shout out to those. Shout out to those passport bros, the real passport bros, the ones that are leveraging, using their passport and leveraging it for a better outcome, that are using the US dollars and leveraging it for a better outcome. Shout out to them. You know who you are. I don't got to call no names. If you don't know them, I suggest you learn, right? Yeah. Pick up a passport. Go order your passport. Go travel. Go see what the world is like. You got to learn that the way things are done in the United States are not the only way they are done in the world, right? You need to learn. You also need to be able to bring your information back and pass it down, because you have the ability nowadays to pick up and leave. You got channels like this that's going to teach you how to apply for visas, things like that. The way, if you want to leave the United States and you want to go live in another country, well, here's how you do it. We got those videos coming soon, right? My boy, thank you for joining here. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you, man, being the first donor to the channel. Appreciate it. I really appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I didn't notice your donation until I actually logged off, and I was like, I gotta show love because you showed love to me. Please make sure you subscribe to me on Rumble. Like the content over there. YouTube should be syncing my videos over there. I gotta make sure. I need to log in and check. If not, I'm gonna have to go do a lot of uploading over there because I got a few that I've done since the last time I was over there. But thank you, Quiet Storm. I see. Yeah, I noticed that you're quiet. You always slide in the back door. Well, we always got to leave it cracked for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I figured you'd be around here one day or another, one time or another. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate you being the first official donor to the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, but one time for the passport bros, one time for the guys that's doing it the right way overseas, that's setting the prime example of the real way you should do it overseas. As you heard the man say, get your passport. Go to somewhere other than Mexico. Right? Learn other cultures. Learn a new language. Quit being lazy. We are people of color. This is not the only country that has people of color in it. And if you truly, really want to know something, you got to learn. You got to learn. And you can't learn everything here. You have to get out of here sometimes to learn some things. Jesus Christ. You got to get out of here sometime to learn some things. And there's nothing wrong with that. This game is all about outcomes. And you should always want the best outcome for you and yours that you can possibly produce. All right? No one wants to be a loser. No one likes a loser either. People like winners. And you should always try to win no matter what. You always want to see yourself at the highest possible level you could be at the best possible circumstance you can come out on. That's what you want. All right. Once again, make sure you're following me on IG. I'm dropping content all the time. I'm going to have a lot coming. So please make sure you subscribe to me over there. Please like some content. That way more people can come and check out the videos. We'll be able to attract more people with that nomadic mindset just like you. All right. If you're watching this on a replay, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to all the channels and everything that I'm on. Therefore, we can go ahead and push this message out to people. All right. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Gracias la Kikina. Let's get back to the video. Get you a passport. Go travel. Go see. I got mine. Finally got mine. Didn't even know I could get it till I applied for it. You know, things happen in life, but you never know until you try.
All these other things. But here's the thing. What a lot of guys can do a lot of things in this area right, but it's the management of women that screws you up.
Oof.
You got to realize you can't. And the guys who can, don't be mad at them. Don't debate with them, because you'll have your turn. It's just not your turn yet. And you're at the phase of life where it's just not your turn. You got to wait for the upperclassmen to graduate before you can start. Now, if there are guys who are just naturally the jawline dude and got the game and women like them, hey man, befriend those guys. Befriend those guys. And if y'all have some of the same core values and want to do some of the same things, run with popular guys or know the popular people. You want to be on the list. You don't have to run the list, but be on the list. You want to be invited to the parties, invited to the gatherings, such and so. You want to be somebody that other people want to have around. Yes. And see, right now, a lot of guys are like, well, I don't want to be a follower. I don't want to be this. Okay. Making money is a social activity and success is shared. Lone wolves die. Being a lone wolf out there. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse. That shit has a lot of mythology, especially in the Black community. Man, you just make yourself an easy mark. That's why I did that whole debate about pay for play versus tricking and this and that. Look, man, you should be worried on outcomes. Outcomes. And anytime you deal with the opposite sex, there needs to be an outcome in mind. And one of the bigger problems that we have today, there's dating. See, 18 to 29, you're in the dating phase. And dating is different than a relationship. Dating is short term, meant to end. Say it with me now, fellas. Say it with me now. Dating. Dating is short term and meant to end. Dating is short term and meant to end for a semester, for summer. It's short term and meant to end.
Oh, let me stop it right there. That was a gem.
Your profession, your skill set. And then when you get out here after college, after
All right. Yes. For those of you with daughters, this is when you need to understand what he just said. Because I just said, I proposed that question. Will some little dude break your daughter's heart from the age 18 to 29? Yes. The Godfather just explained to you the definition of dating. It's short term, meant to end for a semester, a summer. It is not a long term thing. So you have to teach your daughters, if you are just out here dating some dude and he's not serious, then it's going to end. Right? More than likely, he's going to end it. And the more prepared she is for it, the better off she'll be. So this is where we teach. This is a teachable moment. This is where you sit her down and you get her to understand, hey, this is what is going on. I have to find my spot because I hit the wrong button. This is what's going on. So if this happens, yeah, you might be hurt. You might be shocked and surprised, but you're able to rebound faster because you knew what was happening. This is where you teach your son. Women are fragile. And if you don't plan on being serious with this girl, don't waste her time. Tell her the truth off the top, up front. You don't need to generate bad karma. And I mean, don't get me wrong now, a lot of us don't listen to that. We don't think about that. We do the same thing. We go smash and dash. I was one of those too. So I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm an angel here. But teaching, no one taught me this. But I was able to teach my son this. I had to learn the hard way. I had to get my tires flattened on my, things like this. You don't want to play with women of no age. Either you want to be with them or you don't. And if you don't want to be with them, tell them, look, this is not what I really want to do long term. So I'm just letting you know so you don't get too involved. And you give them the freedom of making the choice. Now, you do have some of those that feel like they can change your mind, but you have to occasionally have that convo with them and remind them, hey, this is what I said. You give them the ability to make the choice for themselves instead of lying to them, saying it's one thing, and then they find out on the back end that it's another. That's not what you want. That's a bad outcome from her caused by you. And you don't need that. Because it's only going to hinder your process. Because when you generate negative karma, it slows you down and it keeps you from being great. And the ultimate goal is to get up here so you can be great. We all have to suffer some kind of loss as a man so we can understand, right? Life ain't going to be perfect, and we're not going to always make the best decisions. We have to try a lot of things and fail before we can learn. It's just the life of a man. I'm not a woman, so I can't tell you about the life of a woman, but I can tell you about the life of a man. All right? Ooh, make sure you go over there because they still dropping videos for Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to the Godfather. Dropped a video last night. I fell asleep watching it like I used to always do the Kevin videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I fell asleep watching the video. I got to go rewatch it. I used to always watch these videos. Had to watch them 3 times. 3 times. Subscribe to the Godfather. Still got content dropping after he's gone. Thank God for the person that is dropping it over there, because we still need gems. Still some of us that need that guidance, and we need that channel to be up for a long time, because that right there is going to teach us how to teach people coming along for generations to come. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Yes, we're on Odyssey too. Odyssey is another streaming platform like YouTube, except if once you become monetized, they pay you in digital currencies, crypto. All right. It was it used to be called Library, but the SEC bankrupted them, so they sold their platform to Odyssey. So now it's called Odyssey, but they still carry on the tradition. So pretty much like Rumble, your content automatically syncs over there. So once you're monetized over there, they start to pay you in digital currencies. They have their own coin, so you start to receive that in a wallet, and then you can just pull it out and put it in your own hot wallet or cold storage wallet, however you want to do it. But I suggest everybody go try it out. But I'm on Odyssey. Please make sure you go over there and follow me over there too. Thank you, Quiet Storm. I got to find my place back in this video.
You can still have fun. You can kick this stand. You're a modern man. You're going to be what, unless you get her when she's very young, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Upon dating is dumb, because dating is dumb. I used to want to do some of the same things. Run with popular guys, or know the popular people. Fellas, say it with me now. Dating.
All right, let's get back to this video.
Dating is short-term and meant to end. Dating is short-term and meant to end for a semester, for summer. It's short-term and meant to end.
I figured it was his family, Quiet Storm. I am so grateful that they are still doing that. You know, man, oof. These videos pop up periodically on my timeline, and I just go ahead and watch them because it was so much of his content that I did not get to see. You know what I mean? Like, I missed the whole thing when he used to be talking to men. I went back and watched a lot of those videos, right? I didn't see, this is how new I am to YouTube. As many times as I used to watch Kevin Samuels' video, I used to watch it on my Apple TV. I didn't discover the live chats until I started watching Andre's video. That was years later. I never super chatted, I never did any of that until I started watching Andre's channel. Andre got my first super chat, straight up. But the whole time I watched Kevin Samuels, I never knew what a moderator was. I mean, I heard him talking, but I never seen anything because I didn't know that you could turn on, it was a feature to turn on the live chat. So I never knew that these live streams even had live chats. until one day I was watching Andre's video and I hit the button and a chat popped up and people were in it. And I was like, look at all these folk talking. So I'm still quite new to YouTube myself, right? So the whole 2 years I watched Kevin Samuels, I never seen a single comment in his chats. I'd never seen any of you guys that were moderators, any of that. I started seeing names from the lead attorney's channel and Dennis Sperling's channel in these comments when I started rewatching the videos, and I would see Lou Casley. I'm like, man, look at Lou Casley. Don't she be on lead attorney channel? Like, Jesus Christ, she was around back then. Look at Gail. Gail was around back then. Jesus Christ. I didn't know any of this. I didn't really know how to work YouTube. I was, for a long time, I was against YouTube. I didn't want to deal with YouTube. Now I love it. But yeah, I seen Wrench Turner. I was like, Jesus Christ, I've been missing out on all these comments, on all these chats for the longest time. It was amazing. Oh, it was, yeah. A free. I saw A free in the comments. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It was a lot of people, man. It was a lot of people. A lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, man. A lot.
The more of them you in, the better you will feel. Go into it knowing it's meant to end and enjoy the experience for what it was. Putting too many expectations upon dating is dumb, because dating is dumb. It's meant to end. It's like ice cream in the summertime. You're on a clock. It's ice cream on the summertime. You're on a clock.
No.
Sorry, Didi. Ice cream on the summertime. Popsicle on the summertime. Tastes good. Meant to end. And you don't need to be in a relationship. One of the worst things to do is to be in a relationship 18 to 29, because you're wasting valuable skill time. See, a lot of times what guys got screwed up is because you got into a relationship between the ages of 18 and 21. And when she was hitting 23, you can look back and see no relationships, just date. You want to come out of your 20s, no sexually transmitted disease, no kids, no emotional scars or baggage. And the best way to ensure that is to keep it light, keep it casual, be upfront. Gentlemen, this is where the direct approach to dating becomes so critical. Dealing with women, understanding you don't have enough juice. You don't have enough what it takes to nail her down. So going up to a woman who's an 8 and saying, look, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Let's kick it. When I was in my 20s, I dated women that I could not afford to keep, but they wanted to have fun. And because I could keep my mouth closed, they're like, yeah, sure. I'll kick it with you. Then you see them later on, a year or two later, they're married to some rich guy. You have to have the rental car mentality, guys. Because after 30, you can be that guy. But see, it becomes a different twist after that. When you're in your 30s, you got to realize you ain't going to be her first. You're going to be unless you get her when she's very young, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. 18 to 29. I'm going to open up the call line and start answering some questions.
All right. We're going to stop it right there.
Let me scroll through here to see where.
So, moral of the story is get your shit together while you're young. Get it together while you're young. Talk to your kids. Let them know what's going on. Keep it real with them. Don't treat them like babies. You need to understand that because of how social media is projecting things, they think the world is one way. And they need to know, right? Especially young men. These young men, these little black boys, these little boys of color, right? And here on this channel, we're going to talk to everybody. We're not just focusing on one particular race, right? We're talking to everybody, all races. But because I'm a person of color, I'm going to always stress to people of color what we need to do for ours that's going to be best for ours. And that is passing this knowledge down so we can keep them safe and keep them going out here so they can do the same thing when they decide to start a family of their own. Therefore, we can end all of this. Now, we're still going to have single mothers and single parents and single fathers, because I was a single father myself, proud single father, right? But don't you think if these people knew it was better to be in a family, be married before you had kids, they would do it instead of just seeing baby mamas, right? Because I'm quick to tell people I don't have a baby mama. I ain't got no babies. So don't use that term when you refer to the mother of my kid, my child's mother. I don't even acknowledge that term. That terminology don't exist in my vocabulary. I don't know what a baby mama is. I don't got babies. I got adults. So my son mama, my daughter mama, that's how I talk. And that's how I like for people to talk to me. Because if you talk to me and come to me talking about your baby mama, I'm going to tell you, I ain't got no baby mama. I ain't got no babies. In a respectful manner, not being a jerk or nothing, but I'm just being real. I'm going to keep it real with you. I ain't got no babies. So, yeah. But we're going to end this live stream. Been on here for an hour and a half. I appreciate everybody tuning in to part 1 of this series. There's 2 more parts coming, right? Thank you to Quiet Storm. Gracias La Kikina. Putting the links in the chat. Appreciate you guys. As always, if you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you press like, leave a comment if you like the content. Like I said, it helps me come with better ideas. If you like it or you don't like it, leave a comment, right? So, I don't know. Make sure you hit the like button, though, and make sure you subscribed. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Replay gang. Replay gang. Yeah, I hope they do too. I hope they do. We're trying to get to 100, man. Never thought I'd make it this far. We got to 90 something subscribers real quick, man. So I'm trying to. Well, you know, YouTube likes to play games, so you don't never really know where you're at. So the only thing we can do, man, is to keep pushing. You know, it's weird. You know, you got to put in some work, and you know, now that things are slowing down at work, I'm gonna be putting in a whole lot of work. So try to make this on a consistent schedule. I don't know if I can do it more than once a week, but if I ever get a chance to just pop up and go live, I'm gonna do it. Plus, I gotta get my travel game back together, and I'm about to move out of this place. I'm about to be in another location, so this is gonna be one of probably the last couple of weekends I'm in this big duplex that I'm in. It's a big, huge duplex. I'm moving into another location real soon, so got a lot more things coming. But I also got to get my travel game up together because I need to go ahead and do more live streams out of the country. You know, got a whole lot of Colombia coming up in my life. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Stefano out. Salute.